Howdy everyone, Pocho here with an Age of Magic video, and in today's video we're entering the first match of the AI Championships. There are 32 players taking place in this championships this time, and only one will make it to the end. The qualifiers will see 16 players eliminated from the championships, so these players need to use everything they've got, every strategy they have, everything they know about the heroes to make sure they can beat their opponent. In the first matchup, we have Whale Food Krill going up against Nightmare Cynter, two very experienced players in the game. They're quite knowledgeable, they've been around for a while, and they are going to go ahead and select their bands and then their teams, followed by their sub. Using the same program that helped us match up the players for the tournament, we were able to throw every hero name into that and come with this randomized 20 selection of heroes that the players need to work with. Followed by that, we chucked the two players' names into that same program and it selected Krill to go first. So following that, we came out with the bands. Krill banned Tanita, followed by Cynter with Layel. Those were the first two characters banned. Came next Drake and Kashat. Cynter quoting, "There are already too many bugs in the game," followed by Krill banning Cage, a smart ban considering there are a lot of healers on the board, and if your strategy is to build healers, then you do not want the enemy selecting Cage. And then Cynter following up with Colonel, a strong tank, especially paired with Gloriana, who is also a character on the field, and she is the only character on the field with a leadership ability. Up next came the selections, time to build your team, with Krill being able to go first. He picked Gloriana, the only character on the field with a leadership ability, followed by Cynter, who gets to pick two characters after the first player, and he went with Lucky and May, with no Cage on the field, banned by Krill. Lucky, a very good pick, and with May, there is a lot of lockdown opportunity to follow. Followed up came the next selection of heroes, both players getting to select two new heroes. Came Krill with Maglin and Seven Knives, two extremely strong damage dealers. Maglin with synergy from Gloriana, so already a good setup from Krill. But Cynter was not taking any of that. He came out with Rock and Phoenix, putting a second healer onto his team and adding two Beastmen that synergize well together as well, so enforcing the strength of Cynter's team. Next came the last picks, two more for Krill and one more for Cynter. Krill went with Arrogant Guard, a solid tank with his own healing capabilities and able to taunt for 2 turns, I believe it is, so not a horrible tank, followed by Karana, a pretty decent healer. Doesn't shine a light to the Lucky, but still another healer on the team with a Resurrect is going to be a tremendous help, especially when protected by the Arrogant Guard. And then Cynter went with the Infernus as his last pick for some AoE damage, some dots, and just a damage dealer. With a lot of the damage dealers already picked from the selection pool and some banned, it was really one of his best choices that he could go with, followed up by the subs. Now the subs are there for the players to phase in and out of their team after their matches to see if anyone is underperforming or they just don't like the way someone is working. The subs went as such. Krill came out with the Raspit as his sub, and Cynter came in with Velendar as his sub. Not a lot of champions left on the board at this point. This is what they went with, and I think both of them were solid choices. So with this lineup, we are about to enter the first fight, 1 of 3. Let's see who comes out on top. Going into the first match, the enemy starts off strong with Lockdown and Freeze coming from Cynter's team, and then a lot of damage coming out on the Karana. That is going to be the primary focus. At this point, Krill has finally acted. There is a lot coming out. The aim for their team is probably going to be take out Rock, as the Phoenix is not going to be a primary focus, and the Lucky is still on the field that the enemy needs to take out of. However, Rock goes first, taken out quite quickly by Krill's team up. He is brought back though. Rock is still on the field, able to add the freezing support, and there is not a lot going on at this point. Both teams are kind of struggling it out as their cooldowns are now up, and they are waiting for the rotation to come back through. If they can take out Lucky, that is a strong point for Krill. And the Arrogant Guard is nearly about to die as Arrogant Guard is taken out, and Rock comes through with the freeze and a Lucky, a last minute heal. Quite powerful as Karana is on the crisp of dying, but Gloriana comes through with the last minute save. However, with that, Karana is locked down. She cannot resurrect. If they cannot resurrect the Arrogant Guard, they might be in a little trouble as the healing keeps coming through from Scientist side, I think I've said Krill every single time. Scientist side, they are going to try and take out the Lucky. Karana is so close to dying. She finally perishes. It is a 3v5 situation. I don't want to call it too early, but it doesn't look good for Krill at this point, as Lucky is brought up to full HP from the enemy Phoenix. Even with the Gloriana as a leader, a leadership ability on the field, it is not serving a lot of good to Krill at the moment, who is now down to 2 characters, and Cynter taking an amazing lead. His team is nearly at full HP. The next heal that come out will top them off. No issue. Megan left. There is not much he can do at this point. He is going to fall as he's locked down as a last minute insult to Krill's team. They've lost everything on him. Gloriana's ability comes through, brings him back up to half HP. It's just not enough. Cynter comes through with round number 1, taking the first point. 5 characters still left on the field. Quite a strong team. We're going to go over to the players at the moment. We're going to see if they want to change in a sub for anyone. At the moment, Cynter, that is a powerful team he has selected. Moving into round number 2, the same setup. There is a lot of lockdown and AoE hitting the enemy team. Krill is at a disadvantage this round. They need to do something different as the heal comes out, saving Krill. And the lockdown now comes out on Lucky this time. The AI is choosing to focus Lucky over the enemy Rock, which is a smart call. However, Lucky is still able to get the heal out as the Phoenix cleanses the debuffs from her. A lot of damage coming out on the Lucky, however, as Megan goes into hiding, which does help the Gloriana on Krill's side. Cynter doing a lot of damage to the Arakan guard. Are they going to be able to take him out? That Lucky is so close to dying. If they can take Lucky out, they do. The advantage going to Krill at the moment as Cynter finally loses Lucky, but the freeze comes out, giving a lot of free abilities to Cynter's team. The new focus is now the Rock. If they can take the Rock out, if they can take out the freeze from the enemy team, as Krill's Gloriana, sorry, I'm losing my voice there. Gloriana comes through with another heal, giving Krill's team a little bit more life. The heal comes out, taking Rock back into the field, as now the focus is in Furnace over Rock. Interesting choice. The enemy Karana just isn't getting any abilities out. She's just on constant lockdown. A massive disadvantage for Krill, as the Infernus isn't able to come through with anything. The Infernus is going to die. It's a 3v3 situation. However, the Gloriana is so close to dying. If she can get another heal off, which she does, amazing. However, with the lockdown on Seven Knives, that is a lot of damage taken away from Krill's team. If that Seven Knives is able to fortify the lockdown from Maid, there could be a difference in battle. Rock comes through with the freeze, taking out the Gloriana. A pretty big ability to come through, and the Rock has the invulnerability on him. He's so close to perishing. Oh, there is a lot of damage on Seven Knives as Seven Knives falls. This is unfortunate. Unfortunately, Krill's team just doesn't have it in him. He just wasn't able to take out the Lucky, and Krill loses his second match. The second point goes to Cynter, and Krill, unfortunately, is being eliminated from the AI Championships, with Cynter's team going through. The strategy for Krill on that one was a lot better. They were able to focus the Lucky. Unfortunately, the Phoenix removing the debuffs, it just was too much. Lucky getting the heal, giving their team a little bit more survival and pushing them through. Able to just slowly whittle down that enemy Gloriana, locking down the Karana, just preventing that healing. If I feel like, and it is unfortunate, if Krill didn't ban Cage at the beginning and secured the Cage in the lineup, it could have made all the difference. That team had a lot of healing. Both teams had a lot of healing. Unfortunately, Cynter just had a lot more control over Krill, and it showed in the battle. Congratulations to Cynter. Moving on, Krill, still a tremendous effort. Your team did a lot better in the second round. Just wasn't enough. We'll move over. We'll look at the leaderboard now, where everyone is moving, and wrap it up. Ladies and gentlemen, that is round 1 done. Cynter is moving on. Whale Food Krill, unfortunately, eliminated. The next fights will be CM Anatoly. That is right. The community manager from the game, Anatoly, will be going up against Judge Emity. So it will be an interesting match. Both players have some pretty hefty voters behind them. So hopefully they can do their voters proud. But until then, we're just going to have to wait and see. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. I will answer it to the best of my ability. And wherever you are in the world, until next time, please take care of yourself.